Okay, boys and girls, so you should have read the play Martina, the Little Cockroach. And I know how much you all love these plays. I'm sad that we couldn't all be together on the carpet, and I couldn't assign everybody a part, but I have a feeling you enjoyed reading this play anyway. So let's look at the Spanish words on page 22 and go over them again. I'm wishing Stephanie and Nicole were here to help me. So fiesta means party. Abuela is grandmother. Señorita means miss. Sí means yes. Loca means crazy. Gracias means thank you. And felicidades means congratulations. I hope I got that one right. So, boys and girls, we're going to discuss the plot here, and I'm going to go over these with you. If at any point you need to pause, feel free to do that. I want you to write these answers in your own words, though, and I want you to remember you must use complete sentences. At times, you may need more than one sentence. You must have a capital letter. You must have a subject and a verb, a who and a what. You must use end marks, so remember that when you're filling in these blanks. So we're talking about plot here, and the plot of a story is made up of the events that happen from beginning to the end. So you have your worksheet that looks like this, and it should be out. So our plot is going to start with the introduction here. It tells us what's going on in the beginning of the story. We have the rising action. Those are all the things that lead us up to the climax, which is the most exciting point of the story. At that point, we will have our falling action, and those are the events that lead us to the conclusion, which is the end. And so we will talk about the introduction, the rising action, the climax, which is the part that keeps you on the edge of your seat, the falling action, and the conclusion, okay? So let's talk about number one. What choice must Martina make now that she is 200 days old? What choice must she make now that she's 200 days old? If you said she must choose someone to marry, you are correct. So I want you to get that written in a complete sentence. And remember, if you need to pause at any time, feel free to. The rising action here. What happens when the first three suitors taste Martina's cake? What happens? So we have a snail and a bat and a crab. And what happens when they taste the cake? Are they gracious and kind? Absolutely not. They are rude. They spat her cake out and told her it was terrible, and then they scampered away, didn't they? So I want you to get that written in your own words here, and make sure you check for capital letters and punctuation. Your climax. So that's the most exciting point of this play here. What happens when Perez tastes Martina's cake? I want you to think about that. What happens when Perez tastes Martina's cake? Does he lie and tell her, oh, it's delicious, it's the most wonderful thing he's ever eaten? Does he spit it out and tell her it's terrible? No, I want you to look at the very bottom of page 24, going to the top of page 25. The narrator says, he nibbles the cake and he swallows hard. And what does he say? Thank you. Your cake makes me smile. How did you learn to make it? So he was polite, wasn't he? What happens when Perez tastes Martina's cake? He was polite. He did not tell a story, but he was very polite about it, wasn't he? What does Perez say after Martina realizes the cake is awful? So you're looking at the bottom of the first column on page 25. So tell me, what does Perez say after Martina realizes her cake is awful? First column, very bottom. Yes, he says, because you are so sweet, even if your cake is not. That was the reason it made him smile, wasn't it? Because the cake was sweet. I mean, because she is sweet, even if the cake was not. So he was very kind, wasn't he? Very kind. And in the end, at the very end of the story, what do Martina and Perez do at the very end of the play? What do they do? Yes, they make their wedding cake together and they fill it with everything sweet. So I hope that you now understand introduction, rising action, climax, the most exciting point in the play, falling action, the events that lead to the conclusion. So good job, finish that up, and I'm proud of you.